Ben.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm okay. And Elise, thank you for joining us.
Yes.
Of course.
Okay. Jump right in. I'm calling the meeting to order at, can't see what time it is.
It's 9:04.
9:04. Did everybody have a chance to read the minutes?
Yes.
Yes.
Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
I'm so moved.
Okay, and a second? Don, second? All in favor?
I,
Okay. Okay, I'll jump into E-tip, a couple of things. I sent you all out last night. I should have done it sooner. But the announcement for two meetings that are coming up
Yeah,
related to
thanks,
E-tip. And the first one is the E-tip annual meeting, which is on, yes,
7th and 8th, I think.
yeah, October 7th and 8th. Um, Seventh and eighth, and this is organized by the E-tip, the sort of the larger E-tip group. And again, look over the, if you haven't seen it, look over the email I sent you all. And this is a something we attend via Zoom. So just take a look at what I sent you if you haven't seen it before. And then the second one is a regional E-tip meeting being organized by the Island Institute. And this is the one that's on October 22nd and October 23rd. And this is going to represent groups from 15 Eastern and Great Lakes communities. And they would love to have a representative from each community actually go up to Portland, Maine for this. I personally can't go. If somebody would like to go, they certainly can. I believe they cover some expenses, and it's not like flying out to Alaska.
They just need to know by a certain time.
Yeah, they do.
September 27th.
I think December 22nd.
Oh,
So
22nd or 27th?
I think it's the 22nd.
I can't hold to here. I just got. Oh, by September 24th.
24th. Okay. Anyway, so just again, take a look at the email. If you have any questions, you can, I think Kate, it's either Kate or someone else, sorry. Anyway, this will also be available by Zoom, via Zoom. So if we can't go in person, we can do it on Zoom, which I certainly plan to do.
Right.
So those are just two things that we should be aware of. And then the third thing, which I mentioned to all of you, is that Kate Kablansky suggested that we, our committee meet with her before the final report comes out, which is going to be a while. And she suggested some next steps, brainstorming about potential community engagements, discussing potential funding opportunities, and planning, can't read my writing, additional applications for technical support for follow-up projects. So again, I think this is a great idea. And we're trying to figure out, should we do it before we have this meeting today, but we're not. So we can have maybe a separate meeting and discuss what we would like to do in this meeting with Kate.
Right. Yeah, I think determining our priorities for, our own next steps with the council and outreach, and then starting to think about projects and getting an idea from her about what kind of additional support they can offer would be really helpful. So, but just like 3 items on the agenda, I think it could be a really good call.
No, I think it'd be helpful. But I think and again, I'll just send an email after today. If you would like to have, first of all, let Kate know that we talked about it today and we decided obviously to do it after meeting today. But if the ETIP group wants to meet before we meet at 8, just to talk about what we want to talk about with her, or do you just want to go and meet with Kate and based on her suggestions? Any thoughts about that? Don, do you think, and Steve, do you think
I think we should meet before, Tim.
meet beforehand?
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, we can do that. And Steve, I don't know if you can you hear us, Steve?
You might have some difficulty coming
Okay.
off mute.
Okay. Okay, we can do that. Other than that, I think you all saw the email from Brian explaining that essentially it's still going to be a while, but I think we can probably go ahead with. I think we can go ahead with some kind of report to the town board. We don't have to wait for the final report.
Yeah, apparently we can use that deck that they sent. We can, so I don't think I would agree. I don't think we need the full report to start talking to the town council.
Right, because it could be months.
Yeah,
We have no idea
if we get it.
if we get it. So I think that's all I had for ETIP, unless anybody else has anything else they want to raise about ETIP.
I think it would be nice to have, when we meet, we can reflect on the whole process. Or maybe that may be a separate meeting, but I'm just remembering where we started out or how I felt when we started out. And I know people have different feelings about the process, but I think I just think we've learned so much. At least I'll speak for myself. I have. And I was working on energy issues before, but it's just learning about how this might work on the island and I can't even, I have to sit down and think about all the things that I think have come out of it. But I think the cohesiveness of this group too, at least maybe for me again, because I was pretty new then to the group. It's just been an extraordinarily helpful process. So I'm very grateful
I found
for
it very helpful also. We can do that. We can think about that when we meet to talk about what we're going to talk about with Kate.
Yeah.
Anybody else, anything about ETIP? Okay. Green Expo, any thoughts about the Green Expo? Did we think it went well? Do we think, any thoughts about room for improvement? Anything we'd want to do different next year? I can think about now before we forget. I made note of exactly how many tents we had.
Oh,
and
great.
Where they came
Great.
from.
I mean, it seemed to me to be a very smooth process of, setting up the tents and getting things in place. During the day, I just had one interesting conversation after another. It was really, I thought, terrific. And I think it was good that we had the detailed tech sheets on each one of the solar sites, because, that made the whole solar tour kind of come more alive for people. And there were a lot of people interested who, quite a few signed up that day to go on it. So that worked. And yeah, I also enjoyed talking to the fellow from Green Logic. That was really instructive. So personally, I found it a really, just a very good day. And I don't know, how did you feel about how it went?
Well, I have I was always going around all the tables. And doing other stuff, taking pictures and doing other things. But I guess, when you talk to people, were they new people or were they island people?
They were, well, it was a mix, actually. There were a few people from off island, or maybe that were here that were interested in what we were doing, but most, I would say, were, on the island and interested just to learn more. There was one woman who was interested in possibly joining this committee or helping out. So, I don't know, I'm curious how others felt. Dawn, you were there at the table pretty much all day.
I agree with what you've just said, Christina. The only thing I would add is I did not like the linear layout compared to more of a clustered arrangement for all of the tables. I just don't like the long line. So
I guess how do you think we could address that?
it'd have to be a different site, obviously.
Have to move back over to the.
Oh, you mean
Yeah.
like go back across the street?
Yes, I thought the layout by the Legion worked out the best.
Uh-huh. I guess, the only thing, I know what you're saying, but I guess the thing that I like is that we're next to the craft fair, literally. And so we're sort of drawing people, it's sort of 2 for 1. And they're right near each other, and it's just really convenient for people, but
I mean, it's just across the street if,
We can-
otherwise. And honestly, it is then set up as, clearly a separate event.
Mhm.
We don't have to worry about the insurance rider. So that, I mean, that's a small matter, but because that's town property. That's my
Yes.
understanding anyway.
I think.
And if we closed off that road, it makes it easy for people to pass over, although it's not like there's a lot of traffic. So,
Mhm. Okay.
It's not a big thing, just a thought.
No, we can certainly think about it.
I mean, we could
Just-
try
I'm
it
just
over there.
curious.
Oh, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
I'm just curious. I wasn't there, but how was the overall attendance versus the previous year or previous years? Are we drawing more people?
I always wish I had a clicker.
Yeah.
So I go around and
Hard to tell.
it's hard to tell, Steve, but I mean, to me, it was sort of, I would say there were probably like maybe, I don't know, I guess, 100 people.
Oh, at
I mean,
least.
easily 100 people came. It's probably the same as last year, I think. And it was consistent.
Yeah, there was a steady flow throughout
Yeah.
the time we were there.
I mean, I heard from one person at the Deer and Tick table who said that they thought they were in conversation almost the whole time with people.
That's how I felt.
It
at
was,
our
it was
table.
Julia, who normally likes to put on her tick outfit and walk around, but she said she had no time to do that this year. Because, which was too bad, but the upside is that she was engaged the entire time, talking to people. So, and I certainly saw a lot of engagement at different tables as I was going around photographing everybody.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I'm just thinking if we wanted to, we could move back across the street in that, because it's a nice area. If there's no tent set up, if there's nothing, obstructing or getting in the way of setting up over there. And then maybe do a little survey to see, were you here last year? Do you have any preference about the layout? I mean, we could do it either informally or sort of, I don't know. But I think I kind of agree with Don a little bit, the line, in a way, it's good because you just move from one thing to another,
yes.
but people might not get down to the end, or they won't know what's there. I don't know. I
Well,
think there are pros and cons to both.
we have time here.
Yeah. Yeah.
We can think about this we'll think about this.
Maybe we could ask the people who had set up tables.
Actually, yes,
What
I
they
would
think.
certainly run this by
Yeah.
committees
Do
and
they have
other
a
people.
preference?
Yeah, how they felt, because they've done both.
Mhm.
I mean, everybody definitely preferred this to the other site, which we had to do temporarily. one
Oh,
year.
in the back, yeah, yeah.
But, we can look at that, Don. Any other thoughts about the expo? And now, the solar house tour, which was, I thought went really well.
Yeah,
Um,
I have a brief report.
Yeah, go ahead.
It was, I mean, it was very successful. We had 25 people signed up and pretty much that many on the tour itself, with others reaching out afterwards, people who weren't able to join. People really enjoyed it. And they went around. I was staffing the house at Steve and Carolyn's over on Linda Road. And I thought a couple things. It was really good to have two sites right next to each other. It made it really easy for people just to walk right over and see, another site. So that was actually worked out really well. Carolyn was there and we both had really good conversations with people who came in with all different levels of questions. So there were two guys who had they had drawings of their houses that they were working on. And I think they were off island, but they'd heard about it and were interested to come in and learn. And I wasn't, didn't have the technical expertise to answer their specific questions, but we had good conversations. And, I just said, I think for those things, you need to talk to an installer. I learned a lot. One of the things that I thought was so interesting about Steve and Carolyn's house, this is Steve Sanders and Carolyn Top, is just how small the system needs to be to provide the electricity for everything in the house. I mean, it's really just 4 panels. It doesn't blanket the whole roof because they've got shading on one side, but that's all they need. And so I think the point about, Steve's talked a lot about his heat pump and the fact that that is so energy efficient. And I think it, clearly is really true. And what I heard from the different sites was that people had a steady flow of people coming through. There were really interesting questions. People were engaged. And then after the gathering at the church was really nice, Penny and John Kerr came, and I had encouraged them to be prepared to share about their own experience because they put in a solar system really early. They were real pioneers some 20 years ago. And the issue they're dealing with now is that their panels are so old, the current inverters don't mesh with their system. And so they have something for the pool, and that needs a new inverter, and he can't find anybody who can advise him on this. So there are some issues like that. For one of the sites, the installer has gone out of business. And so the owner was saying, if my inverter goes, what do I do? Who do I turn to? Because the people that put it in are no longer available. So for those reasons, and also I think just generally, I got a lot of feedback that people would be very interested in being part of a group that could, a larger group of expertise where you could put in your questions and there are folks there who might be able to answer them. And I have talked before about the Solar United Neighbors, which is now a national network. There's a very strong chapter in Washington, D.C., of which we're members. And I have written them. I haven't heard back. So I don't know what it takes to set up a chapter, but I think people can just join. And anyway, I will find out more information about what that looks like. But there is a big community of solar enthusiasts. It includes installers, so, folks in the business, people who just, early adopters, and then everybody in between. So that I think there's some real interest in trying to organize something that could help people as they move forward, putting in these systems. Amber, I just want to put out a shout out to Amber and Meg, who came on the tour and stayed through the session. Somebody's not on mute. Stayed through the session at the Presbyterian Church, and it just, the Goodings also wrote and said they really wanted to come, but they had a conflict, so they couldn't. So there's real interest and support from the council, and I just want to say thank you. A personal thanks, and I know this committee really appreciates the support. And Ben, you're always here, from the town on this. So, and I also found out that Shelter Island is better about permitting new solar installations than a lot of other municipalities. It's quite quick. In other places, it can take a long time. So that's also a real positive, because that, it just lowers costs when you can speed things up. I've talked to a number of people since they're interested to pursue solar. So they've been reaching out to different.
Can I just make a couple points here?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead, Steve.
Steve,
I'm pretty much.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah,
go
we hear
ahead. Go ahead.
First of all, we have 6 panels, not 4.
Oh, sorry.
But I would also emphasize that the house, we've added an enormous amount of insulation
Insulation.
in
Yeah.
the roof and the walls. All these things are important too, for heating and cooling
Right.
the building. Just wanted to say that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And thanks for pointing that out, because I should have emphasized the energy efficiency elements on the building envelope more, because it's really critical. I mean, that's half the solution, at least, to our getting to.
Demand side management, managing the demand.
Right, exactly. Yeah, thanks, Steve. So that's pretty much it from me. I mean, I'll be back in Washington by October 12th, and I can go talk to the DC Sun people. I think they're very busy right now, because there's on the 21st of September is a national solar day of sun. And so there are the equivalent of what we did here in August, these solar tours. They're happening all over the country on the 21st of September. We didn't want to wait that long because so many people leave the island, and I think we were smart to do it in August. But anyway, that's what's happening. I think their staff are just really busy with coordinating a lot of that. So anyway, we'll see where we can go.
that's great. Thank you. Can you,
Yep.
did you send that out before?
Sure.
You
Yeah,
could
I'll email this to Coco
Yeah.
so she can pull from it.
I think it'd be great. Well, 2 things. One is, I think it'd be great if we could figure out a way to organize, either through the Neighbors Association or some way, so that people could actually, if we wanted to actually get together as a group, get a discounted rate. But also, I love the idea of sort of a clearinghouse for all this information.
Questions. Yeah,
If we can set that up.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is,
while you're thinking of that, what you said about a clearinghouse for information reminds me of the conversation that's going on now about batteries. Because there's somebody, I was reading something yesterday about a woman in upstate, no, it's a guy, anyway, in upstate New York, who is doing proactive education of municipalities about battery storage, because there are a lot of concerns, and there've been meetings with the town councils or the town administrations, the fire departments, and other people who are really concerned with, with fire safety and battery safety, just to walk through what the issues are. And because there's a lot of misinformation out there too. So I think that might be another area that would be worth exploring. Because that's, you know, that's the part of it, is an intermittent source of power. And so storage is really important.
No, I think that should be part of the sort of information outreach. Oh, and so as part of this clearinghouse, the whole thing about, again, because we keep talking about this, how can people get energy, what's it called, not energy efficiency, when people come to your house and
Oh, the audits,
audits.
right,
So
like,
if we
yeah.
could,
Mhm.
you know, also figure out how to,
Yeah.
if it means clustering a whole bunch of homes together,
Right,
to make it work.
right.
But that's something we should work on.
Right, and that would take some measure of organization, just to get, say, I don't know, how many households, first of all, find out what their minimum is for coming over to do this, to make it worth their while. We're talking about the folks that do the energy conservation work, and then lining everybody up so that they're available on the same day. You know, it's just a matter of
Yes,
organizing.
which will take,
Don has his hand.
yeah, go ahead, Don.
Okay, yeah, thanks. Yeah, in that regard, you may recall, of course, I asked Kevin to take down the links to the solar tour when we finish. But I'm thinking that we really should have that continually posted, perhaps at the bottom of our main site, to link to information and about those houses, and perhaps also about, I don't know, letting people sign up to get on this list for a local.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's a great idea.
We can do that. We should just think about how, which won't take much, to just set that up.
Right, it's basically what we already did.
It already
Yeah.
is. But I just mean,
We need a different
if,
link.
yeah, just the link needs to be different, right?
Is the town redoing the website, or has that already happened? Did I miss something?
The town website?
Yeah,
The town website has been redone.
but does that, that doesn't affect our websites?
You mean our page?
Yeah, our page.
No, I mean, it's set. I mean, they did it and now we have a,
Okay,
We
I'm
ought to
just
go back
wondering
and
if
look
there's-
at our entire page and think about the organization.
I think so too. It's exactly what I was thinking. To make it easier to send people in different directions, because we work on a lot of different issues.
I mean, Meg,
Steve's off mute. I don't know if you
go
want to
ahead.
say something.
somebody have a question?
Just
Steve,
one
you
quick
wanted
thing.
to
If
say
you're
something?
gonna put the links back up for these solar houses, are the addresses part of that? I mean, we should get permission from the homeowner.
Oh,
Y-
I
Yes,
don't,
you're right,
Yeah.
of course, yes. We need permission to continue to post their information.
Mhm.
yeah, we did get permission from them to post originally, but it's a good point that we should probably say, if we're gonna put it up there, I think they assumed it was gonna stay up, but we can
We can
definitely
check that.
check again. That's a good idea.
I mean, 2 years ago, Meg had actually created cards for us with a QR code that we could hand out to people, which would take you directly to the Green Committee page, but you've got to hand out the cards. So, you know, something,
That QR code doesn't.
and the
work
QR,
anymore.
and the,
Yeah.
and the QR code is no longer functional, but if there's something we could figure out that would sort of direct people more easily to our page.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, in the past, we've talked about having our own separate site, but we can't do that. That's not possible. But,
Well, we could reorganize the page and just make it easier to go to different pages, and then have landing pages where, have one for instance, have one for solar or energy, and then you could subdivide it. Have one for, the landscaping, gardening. Have one for composting. I don't know. We can think through what the different categories.
no, it'd be nice to have more information on there.
Mhm.
and more helpful information. It's
Yeah.
just, again, it's how to make people aware that it's there.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, that's something we can certainly talk up at the next Green Expo, but we could do some work maybe
Yeah.
between now and then. Oh, it's a big project to reorganize and put all
It
a
is,
lot
and
of
I
information.
don't know how much how much flexibility we have to do stuff. Anyway, but I think we should explore this. But certainly in the meantime, to Don's point, we can get all that stuff out there about the solar, the
Yeah.
houses, et cetera, as a starting point.
Did, Don, you were floating around on the solar tour. Does anybody else have any thoughts about it, how it went, or?
Well, this is Rob. I'll chime in a little bit, not so much about, you know, the Green Expo and the solar tour, but we had been talking as part of our solar initiatives. I had said I would reach out to the high school, to the school, about a possible project. You know, where they put together a shed each year that they build from the ground up. And I finally just, I guess yesterday morning, I finally heard back from Chris Conrarty, who is the instructor at the school that does this work. And I got a very enthusiastic yes, that he thought it was a great idea if we could expand on that shed building by adding you know, a panel or two and the necessary equipment to invert that power, and, you know, kind of teach these students how to utilize solar energy, how to make all the equipment involved, how to do the conversion, and of course wire this shed in a way that whoever gets the shed in the end actually has electricity without even having to connect to the grid. So he needed to talk to a few folks on it. And I guess the way they work with the sheds is they essentially have a sponsor who is the person who is going to get the shed in the end, who I think pays for all the materials, but of course the labor is all free. So got an enthusiastic yes on that. Still have to, you know, continue to discuss the details. But another idea that he had, that, well, if this person getting shed doesn't want that, there was also some thought of putting up a little demonstration solar panel setup at the school. Or one thing I was thinking of is perhaps making like a portable demonstration unit that we could use at the Green Expo and other types of activities, where it would be something very easy to set up, that, you know, maybe it's just one panel, a small inverter, you know, a screen that kind of shows how much power is being generated, maybe a couple of loads, probably like a couple of lights or something that can really just be you know, you can demonstrate it wherever you go. So just some ideas that I think
Great
the
idea.
school and Mr. Conrarty there would be interested in exploring, if there's an interest.
No, that's great. I know that several years ago, there was a portable solar unit that you could set up. It was almost like an inverted umbrella. But it was quite large. And we toyed with the idea of inviting the company to come to the expo so people could see that you could sort of move this unit around or set it up wherever you wanted to, but it didn't quite work out. But, you know, I like the idea of something that,
Sort of homegrown.
yeah,
Yeah, no, that's a terrific idea. You know, it reminds me of when I visited Bangladesh in 2012, and we were way out in the Northeast, in the countryside, and there was a solar panel on the top of a nipa hut. And they said, oh yeah, it powers our cell phones. So, because we don't have electricity. And you know, I mean, clearly that's not our issue here, but it's, people in Germany are setting up these little panels on their balconies. I think they even have a name, like some sort of balcony solar or something. Because they just want to do something. They don't own the building, they don't have a lot of space, but they can do something. And when you put so many of those in place, it cumulatively adds up to quite a lot of solar power. So anyway, I think it's a great idea.
No, that's great, Rob. So just keep at it.
Elise
Yeah,
has her hand up.
Elise?
Hey, good morning. Just a quick question. Well, not a question, really a suggestion. We are trying to at Montclair and our association, trying to get more information out on a regular basis. And I'm all for perhaps monthly or bi-monthly newsletters. So what I'd like to do is poach some information from your page to share on occasion. And I think if you want to incorporate or involve the other presidents of the associations to, you know, that might be another way to get people involved and understanding what's going on. Not everybody is watching these videos, you guys, when you're meeting each month. Not everybody's looking at the page or even the town website for that matter. And some of us are here, some of us are there. So, you know, we're trying to get people to rely on a constant feed of information that maybe they're not aware of. And that's what I would like to do. So and I listen to almost every one of the meetings that everybody has at the town, because I work from home and I can do that, but not everybody can. So we're trying to get that information out. So that's all I'm saying, is that perhaps involving the association and sending them out some blasts from time to time to share with their members might be helpful.
Yeah, you know, that's a great idea, Elise. I know that, I don't know if it was last year or the year before, but the Water Advisory Committee was going to, I believe, the different associations and talking about water. And certainly that's something we could do. We could set up, I know that you all have your annual meetings,
Yeah.
but some of them have already happened. But we could do two things. One is what you're suggesting, but then also if they send out, if the association send out sort of monthly or, occasional
Newsletters.
Yeah. Or blast. I mean, the other thing, Tim, is that, you're on the committee for the preservation, and so, just because it's not the summer anymore doesn't mean that Montclair is not interested in Artist Lane, and we want to keep that in the news, and obviously we need it in the news in the winter time because of hunting. So we're just trying to make sure that there are people on the island that are there more often than just the summer now. So we want to make sure that everybody's being informed about what's happening.
No, and certainly, the committees don't stop in September.
Yeah.
It's all year long and things happen all year long. So it would certainly behoove us and be helpful to others that we inform them what's going on. So so we will do that. So you actually have a monthly newsletter, or you're contemplating having one?
No, because we're having a meeting on next Saturday. I've proposed it before. I think I'm going to have to pick up the mantle and do it myself, but that's fine. I think it may not have to be monthly. Where I live here in Virginia, we have a neighborhood, so we have a monthly meeting, but that's different. It's about schools and different things like that. It could be geared towards something else. We might even have situations where around holidays we could get a little group of people together and have some kind of little informational meeting and you or someone else could attend from the Green Options and just speak. It doesn't have to be our annual meeting. And anyway, that happens in July, and a lot of people are not always around, or they're busy.
Uh-huh.
So our neighborhood is filled with people in the wintertime. So in any event, that's what I was thinking of. It's going to happen. I'm going to have to do it, but it's fine because you just need to get a regular blast out there, and it's not a big effort.
Elise,
Yes.
sorry to interrupt. I know that Anita was a representative to the Shelter Island Association. That is the association of associations.
Yeah.
Is that continuing? Do you know?
I thought that she was. We haven't had a conversation about it recently, but I'm making a note to make sure. I'm going to send her a little email about that. I thought she was,
Yeah.
but I'll find out if that's still the case.
I was a representative to that association. I resigned, now almost 2 years ago. So I have current information as to whether they are still meeting, how often they're meeting. Tim, I know you've given a presentation or two to the Shelter Island Association in the past.
They are still meeting, because I know that, I believe Stella from the Heights Association attends. I can check with Stella.
Well, it behooves us all to be involved with that and to get information. And like I said, not everybody's got the time to attend. I know Anita was doing that. I'm going to double check. And if she can't, then we need to have a representative. Everybody should.
Well, yeah, Kim Nolan, I believe, is still the president.
Okay. Well, we'll get it done, but I think it's something that we all should be a part of. And
Well,
so,
it's just a mechanism to
Yeah.
reach all of the associations
okay,
than going out individually.
okay, cool. All right, well, thank you.
No, this is great. I mean, it ties into what we were talking before about sort of the committee page on the website. I mean, just figuring out ways to reach the community.
Yeah.
Which we need to do. The expo is great, but it's only once a year, and we just need to be able to do it more consistently.
Especially as we do the outreach about
Correct.
the energy
Yeah,
stuff. Yeah.
and of course, we have Charity on board,
Yay.
the great communicator. So we could certainly do, we could
Did
do,
somebody say I was a great communicator?
yes, you're the great communicator.
I've been really good today, didn't you say?
Huh?
Just teasing. I'm sorry I've been so quiet.
Well, you're sitting very quietly contemplating something and not moving. But we could also, you could think about this, Charity, if it would make sense to do a monthly, something in the Reporter once a month, or whatever you think would be. I know you have a heavy workload sometimes, so if you think something like that would be helpful, when we have something that we want to get out there, and it just wouldn't be just the Reporter, but we would obviously try other venues that we've just been discussing.
Yeah, I mean, I agree that having something in the Reporter when there is something significant to say is a great idea. I think we just have to make sure that we have a message. And, you know, the idea of a monthly column, I feel like, first of all, I doubt the Reporter would they might agree to that, but, you know, I think it's not so important how often it appears. What's important is what we say in it. So, you know, when we roll out these initiatives, when we decide what our list is going to be, I definitely want to write about that.
Okay.
That's a big deal, and we want support around that. But, you know, I don't know if it needs to be. I don't know if it needs to be a monthly thing.
No. I just mentioned that, but I think to your point, yes, when we have something that we really want to get out there, that's just one of the ways we can do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know that, I think it's a good idea, but it has to be something that'll get people's attention. And, we obviously, in order to deliver a message effectively, you have to have a message.
Yeah, no, I know. Being stuck to a monthly column can be a burden and not helpful sometimes.
Yeah, I just wouldn't want to have to be in a position where I'm thinking, oh my God, what am I going to say in this month's column? What have we been doing?
Yeah, no, I know. No, the real point is just to get stuff out there that we want to get out there and try to do it every way we can. We do have, a couple of things coming up that we do want to get out there, so. Okay, anything else about the tour and outreach?
I have one other thought.
Yes.
Rob. One other thought, and I hate to just thinking about the solution looking for a problem type of way of looking at things, but talking about communications, one of the things that really fascinates me is there are all these solar homes throughout the island. They're generating power. For a small community, maybe somewhat significant. I don't know, but there are sometimes ways of automating data collection and putting like a little display on a website. And I'm wondering if these homes that are connected to the grid, and I'm wondering if those systems are somehow connected to the internet where they're communicating with I guess PSE&G in this case. And what I'm wondering is if there was a way to set up a system that would just, request the instantaneous output from those different homes, and it would be anonymized. But if there was a way that, you can have a system or a program that would basically just, query all these homes, like once a minute or whatever, add up the entire output, and then just kind of have like almost like an old steam gauge type of display on a screen. It could be the Green Options Committee screen, it could be the town screen, and it would just be, the instantaneous, this is instantaneous at this moment, how much solar power is being generated. And like the addresses, you'd have to have the cooperation of the homeowner, the person producing the power. But I think it could, if it's something that's already connected to the internet somehow, that might be an easy thing to just provide instantaneous metrics that would be available for people to see. And I think sometimes, I don't know, sometimes that's kind of an exciting thing. Like, wow, look at that. Look, so anyway, I'm trying not to be the solution looking for a problem type of thing. I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, it's a great idea. I think the reporting is probably to different platforms. Charity, did you?
I don't know how they're reported. I mean, I think what we tried to do was to get PSE&G to tell us how many solar installations there were on Shelter Island. Because I think this is data that PSE&G is obviously has. And I think they gave us, my recollection is that they vastly understated the number of homes that had solar power. Am I remembering this correctly, Tim? This is from the ETIP process.
Don got a list from, Don, you should weigh in here because you got a list of all the solar installations on the island. So we know where they are and we know how big they are, but we don't have, I don't think all the reporting, I mean, PSEG would definitely have information on how much, well, certainly how much electricity is flowing to those homes from them because that's what they're billing for. But and I would assume they know how much solar power is being generated. I know in our system in Washington, yes, it is reported through the internet and it goes, I get it on an app but it's like all the apps are different. So I don't know if you can get the apps to communicate with each other. But Don, do you have any thoughts here?
Yes, that list, of course, was just the permits that were applied for. So it's not necessarily exactly the installations. That said, also you saw that I sent around the results from this little device that I now have, which is supposed to protect my house from electrical shorts and fires caused by such shorts. So I can get instantaneous information on voltage right now, which is available over the internet. Clearly, what you propose, Rob, is very interesting. It's a technological challenge. I think we need to speak to Bill, is it Falk? I can't remember, the PSE
Yes.
rep,
Yep.
and see what's possible through him. But I think it's a great idea. It would be very interesting to have some sort of meter on the site as to the portion of power that is being generated via solar power.
Okay.
Yeah, I think.
I would, could I just, I think this all sounds great. I do think that we should maybe we need to discuss this before we go, we get too in the weeds on this. What are my impression is that a good outcome of this kind of report could be to encourage people who do not have a solar installation living on Shelter Island to get one. Is that sort of what you had in mind?
Yes.
In other words, why would we want to publicize these numbers?
Well, yeah, to encourage people.
I would think to encourage.
Yeah, that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that's important because that has to do with how we report the data and the way that we report it. So if what we're trying to do is to encourage people who do not currently have a solar installation, well, maybe the message is this many households on Shelter Island are currently generating this amount of power and saving this amount of money.
Right. Well, that's exactly what we were trying to do through the solar tour,
Exactly.
which was to explain, how much of your energy use could be offset by this production from your roof.
That's right. But what I'm
And
trying
what
to
you
say
can
is
save.
that if we undertake an initiative like this, which I think is a great idea, I want to be clear on what, we don't need to break it down to each individual house. What we need is sort of some aggregate numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, go ahead. Oh, yeah, I agree with Christina. I think it's just expanding on the idea from the solar tour, which was that these are 5 homes. This is what they're saving.
Right.
And then if you blow that up to a bigger picture,
Right.
it could make more of an impression upon people.
Yeah, I mean, if we could be specific to Shelter Island and say, there are 43 homes on Shelter Island generating, I don't know how many megawatts of whatever, and saving an average of, $60 a month on their electric bill.
Yeah, but if you multiply that by 43, you get this big number. Anyway,
Yeah.
I think it's
I don't want the big number. I want this to appeal to individuals. If this is effective communication, people should be thinking, oh, maybe I should do this. In other words,
yeah.
it's one thing for people to think, oh, I think it's great that Shelter Island is doing it. Other people are doing it. I don't need to.
I think you can do both, Charity.
Okay.
Because the solar tour showed individually how much people are saving, but I think it'd be interesting. You can do a number of things and you just have to decide what data you want to.
We would have to know, to put it in context, we'd have to know the overall energy demand on the island. And then we could say, okay, this much is solar. It might be a very small percentage, actually, because we've got a lot of buildings that don't have solar. So
And this is Rob.
Rob,
Oh,
you're
you're
you're breaking up. Rob, you're breaking up.
Can he go off camera?
Try going off camera.
There's these things called APIs, right? They're called
You're still breaking up.
application programming interface. Oh, okay. Okay, how's that? Can you hear me?
Now we
You're
can
better.
hear
Hear
you.
me
Start
better now?
over again. Can you repeat what you just said? Because we didn't get it. Rob,
You're on mute.
Rob, you're on mute.
We may need to, I've got to go to another meeting
Okay.
at 10, so we need to take that.
Anyway, I think this is a worthy idea,
Yeah.
and we'll look into that. Okay,
Oh, your shopping bags.
yes, I have one last thing. This is a shopping bag that the committee designed and we sold. I think, Don, do you remember how many we produced? 300 or 150? I don't know, whatever it was.
Tim, hold it up again.
Yeah, Dawn, you're on mute.
It's a
I'm
very,
I'm taking pictures.
I
It's a
think
very-
it was 300, Tim.
it's a very handsome bag.
Do we have some still?
We have one, the town has one left.
Oh, my gosh.
So, so they asked if, what do we want to do? Do we want to, Don, do you mind contacting the company and just seeing how much it would cost to reproduce again?
Sure, I'll be glad to, Tim. How many would you like them to produce? I'll get a quote from them.
You could see how much it is for, because sometimes depending on the quantity, you get a discount. So if you did, I don't know, 300, it might, if you did 150, it might cost one thing, 300 might cost less.
Decreasing cost per with increasing
Okay.
volume.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Just as a target, do you want to say another 300?
You could see about 300, yeah.
Okay.
And just for all of you who don't know how this worked, it was how would you call this? But the money that, I think the bags were $5 each, and then that money went back into a fund to pay for new ones.
Yeah,
So we would continue that system.
yeah, revolving fund. Sounds good.
Okay, so we'll find out how much they cost, and then we'll see if we want to do this again or not.
But you want to stay with the same material, same design.
I think everything exactly the same unless, let's keep Shelter Island green, Island Osprey logo, and then Shelter Island Town Green Options Committee at the bottom, unless you want to say something different. And it's only on one side.
The website.
I think it costs more, obviously, to print on both sides.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We put
Oh,
the
we don't-
website at the bottom.
We could.
Yeah,
could do
that would
that.
be
Yes.
useful.
Yes, we
Yeah.
could do that and put how you communicate with us.
Right, exactly.
Actually, we
Yeah.
could have a QR code,
Oh,
Wait, as
add a
long as it
QR
doesn't
code,
change.
yeah. A working QR code.
working QR
Yeah,
code.
right.
We could add the QR code. One suggestion that Linda next door said was several people said it'd be helpful, and this may add to the cost, is if this bag does not have a flat bottom.
Yeah,
If it had a flat bottom,
but it's small.
Okay,
It's not
well-
a big shopping bag, so I think that's fine.
To me,
And I
it's
think
like
that
a
would
mail-
probably
a
be
mail
much
bag,
more expensive. Yeah,
Well, I'll come up with a couple of quotes and different alternatives.
okay.
I might
Great.
come to you, Tim, and buy some of those for the members of our association.
That'd be great.
Yep.
No, they're very nice, and we'll make them even maybe more functional. Okay, does anybody have anything else? Any new business? Okay, I make a motion to end the meeting.
second?
Okay, thank you, everybody.
Thank
Very-
you.
Very helpful and
Great.
productive.
Mhm.
Okay,
Aye.